Radio. It is Thursday, April 1st, 2021. We're back. I'm feeling good, dude. Like, I woke up, a little bit in a malaise, but I actually feel good now.
There you go.
I survived it. We'll talk all about the Pfizer vaccine round 2 that I'm not going to say suffered through. Definitely had some side effects, so we'll talk about that coming up. MLB opening day, we bought a new car. I almost feel bad for the deal that I got. I got a really good deal on a car. We'll talk about that coming up, but I know you're going to find this shocking.
Get ready.
We're going to start by talking NBA today.
What?
What? On this show, are you sure? Me? Yeah, me to me. What a big night for the Jazz last night. They're in Memphis, and there is this big controversy about why Devin Booker was not on the team flight to Memphis.
Donovan Mitchell.
Why do I keep doing that?
Why, dude?
The Pfizer vaccine has broken my brain. Excuse me. Donovan Mitchell was not on the Utah Jazz team flight. And a lot of people were asking questions about that. Quinn Snyder was asked about it. He basically said, hey, it's a personal issue. I'm not going to talk about it. Hope you can honor that. On board with that 100%. But we're getting into this situation in the NBA where Kyrie Irving can't play because, he has a personal issue. He's got a family issue. He's got the winds coming out of the west instead of the east, so we got to slow down a little bit. And all of a sudden, it's becoming okay for NBA guys, Jake, to take nights off with really no explanation.
Yeah, I don't really get it. I don't want this conversation to come off certainly as we're criticizing Donovan, but I do think culturally speaking in the NBA, there are a lot of guys who just are like, yep, not playing tonight, is what it is, all good, not playing tonight. And I think that this newer age of player thinks that that's okay. And I don't think it's okay. I don't think that player should be missing time. I think that you're paid to be there. That would be like us being like, all right, well, we're not going to go to Yelp today because we just don't feel like it. That's just not going to be good enough. And so I'm not going to sit here and say that Donovan is having issues with the team or anything. My honest opinion is it's probably a mixture of he wanted some rest. They wanted to rest him. And yeah, sure, there was probably something he had to handle. Okay, great. Let's not make a habit out of it though. That's my biggest thing. This team is not the same team without Donovan Mitchell. They are not nearly the same team without him, and I think we saw that last night.
Yeah, I don't think it's quote-unquote concerning. I don't think this is end-of-the-world stuff.
This is a code 10 abort.
No, yeah, exactly. I don't think that's it at all. But what I do think is that you have a situation where your best player, and we've talked about it on the show repeatedly with the Jazz, it's Don and everybody else on that team.
Yep.
So this win in Memphis last night, I felt like was a really big win. And it showed you a couple of things. When Mike Conley is able to play at full tilt, the guy still really got game. I don't think there's any question about that. I think you're seeing Bojan Bogdanovic kind of break out of this slump that he was in.
Yep.
He's shooting the three a little bit better. I love him playing with his back to the basket. I think it is, as somebody who's played a similar role in my basketball life where I've always been able to shoot threes, but I've always had size. Whenever I struggled shooting, I just go down on the block. And I hit a turnaround, and all of a sudden, my three-pointer starts going in more. Like, that's what I see from Bojan Bogdanovic. And I think it's a really critical moment in time for the Jazz, because if they're going to win a championship, he's got to get back to shooting 40% from three because they need it. I don't believe that you're going to be able to count on George Niang or Royce O'Neal. I think it's Donovan Mitchell. I think probably your second best offensive player is Joe Ingles, because I don't believe that you can count on Jordan Clarkson.
Yeah, I would agree. I think that Joe Ingles seemingly always finds a way to get his shot and to make the shot. And I think that while he's not a huge off-the-dribble guy, I think that he can mess around a little bit on the perimeter, especially if he's got someone screening for him. And he can get a good look. And when you can knock it down at the rate he can knock it down, I mean, those are good offensive possessions. I just think that if you look at the standings, the Suns are 3 games back or whatever it is. They're not really that far back. And I think that, the Jazz being this power in the West is kind of evening out a little bit. Like in the first half, everyone was like, oh, well, they're easily the best team in the league, and this is over. And now that we've played some games and teams have caught up, the Jazz are 3 games ahead in the West. That's not a huge margin, but it's big enough, to be okay. So I just think last night, like, they definitely struggled in that game a little bit, and then they came strong at the end. They made their free throws, and they end up making it a 4-point game, down the stretch to close the game out. So, good game, nice game. I am a little concerned if Donovan Mitchell gets hurt. That's not going to be a good situation. That's going to be real trouble for the Jazz. So I think they just need to be mindful of where they're at. Like Memphis, as an example, is an extremely physical team who has guys on it who are looking to beat you up. And so when you're Donovan Mitchell, you just need to be mindful of that when you're playing teams like the Grizzlies, and other teams of that nature. So overall, though, I think the Jazz are fine. These were good wins, and now it's time to move on.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly right. I think when you say it's time to move on, I think it is. And I've always said that I think one win's never going to define an NBA season.
Yeah.
But when you win this way, and you get and I don't know what else you would call this besides a quality team win, where you got contributions out of guys you've questioned whether or not they can contribute, I think that's why this was a big win. I also think it was a big win because of what happened in Phoenix with Devin Booker and the Suns against the Chicago Bulls. Because, my God, Devin, who you again will say is not a superstar, he put up 179 points last night against the Bulls.
Right.
Never missed a shot.
Right. He was
and
perfect.
Dunked all over everybody. Even, Devin Booker had a huge game.
Wet like on book.
I mean, unbelievable. And the best part about it was, 45 points? Only 6 of those points came from 3.
Yeah.
He only made 2 threes last night. All of that other production came from the mid-range and the free throw line. And it is spectacular to me that we're seeing a guy continue to reinforce what I've been saying for 3 years. He is a superstar. And now you're seeing him with a legitimate running mate in Chris Paul and a guy in Mikal Bridges that I think is blossoming right in front of our face and we don't realize it. But what you're seeing, the net effect of that is that Devin Booker has now truly become a superstar. And I don't know what it's going to take for him to get over, but at some point, somebody's going to have to give that guy some love.
Yeah, I think what it's going to take to get over is a legit postseason run. I think that this team, has definitely taken strides forward. I think that they're having a hell of a year. I think for Devin Booker, there's only one thing that matters now, and that's winning. You need to win a postseason series. You need to send somebody home, and you need to get to the second round of the playoffs. That's what will start to cement him as a superstar in the league.
I think it's probably, I don't know. Do you have to win? Why is Giannis Antetokounmpo a superstar then? He hasn't won a championship. He's been dominant. Book hasn't won a championship. He's clearly dominant.
I mean, Giannis has won an MVP, though, like it or not. I mean, he has those accolades on his side. And I think that, to me, like, I would rather have Devin Booker than Giannis Antetokounmpo. That's not even in question. I just think that the problem is that Devin Booker hasn't won anything yet. He hasn't done anything major yet, and that's why I'm saying, like, I know that every time we have this conversation, we talk about it, but that's literally the only thing left. Like, the guy is showing you that he can dominate pretty much any defense. He can put it up every single night. He's right there with the best of them in terms of all-stars and the high-end players in the league. And I think the only difference between him and, Jimmy Butler, let's say, or, any...
You think Jimmy Butler's more of a superstar than Donovan Mitchell, than Devin Booker?
No, I think what I was going to say is I think that Jimmy has won now. Like, Jimmy has done things.
Man, I like you. I don't want to have to jump over this table and break your legs. But are you really going to sit here and tell me that
Jimmy Butler is a better defensive player than Devin Booker. Devin Booker is a better offensive player than Jimmy Butler. So there's pros and cons.
I think Devin Booker is an elite offensive player.
He is.
In my mind, there are only a couple of guys that do what he does. James Harden, LeBron James until he's dead, and Devin Booker. They have the arsenal. They can shoot it. They can mid-range it. They can dunk it. They can lay it up. They make free throws outside of LeBron. I mean, come on. Like, are we really having the discussion on whether or not? I don't know what else he's going to have to do.
He has to win something, do something in the league. How hard is this? It's not hard. He has to go to the playoffs. He has to actually, win a postseason series, actually, win the games that actually matter. That's what he has to do. Like, I guess I just don't understand why this is so, hard to understand, man. Like, yes, great, you're a dominant player. This is the same logic I apply to the Utah Jazz. Awesome. You were 23 and nothing. You had a perfect record in the first half of the regular season. Who gives a damn? It doesn't mean anything. You're the number 1 seed. Okay, awesome. What are you going to do in the postseason against a team that is just as good as you? That's where careers are defined. What did Michael do against the Jazz? What did Kobe do against Portland? What did all these guys do against the big team in the big moment? That's what Devin Booker needs to get the national credit he deserves.
I'm trying not to snap.
Well,
I agree with you. He needs an individual accolade. But what then is it going to be? Because it's then going to be, well, yeah, he's an MVP. Well, yeah, he's a scoring champion. Well, it's always going to be something.
He doesn't have anything,
always
dude.
Going to
he
be
doesn't
something.
have anything right now. He doesn't have anything.
The motherfucker, he can't even get on the All-Star team.
Right. So what does that say? What does that say?
That the world's full of haters.
Nobody knows him.
That
Nobody
the world
knows
is,
of him.
come on. I think people know him.
Well,
I think what we've talked about in his, and I want to be gentle because we have a huge audience in Phoenix. The Suns are a joke as an organization. They're not well respected. I don't think there's any question that if he was, and again, I'll say, if he was a Laker like he's always wanted to be, I don't think there's any question that Devin Booker is a superstar right now. Mm-hmm. I don't think there's any question that he could legit win an MVP standing next to LeBron James.
Yeah, he could.
If they were on the same team.
Yep.
But he's not. And so he hasn't.
Yep.
And so I think it's the issue. He plays in Phoenix. Nobody watches Phoenix Suns game. Even now, with them only being 3 games out of the top spot in the West.
Which I feel like nobody knows about either.
Yeah, nobody's watching Phoenix Suns basketball.
Yeah.
And much the same for the beloved Utah Jazz. Mm-hmm. Nobody's watching Utah Jazz basketball.
If it's not an ESPN game, you're not watching.
If it's not Turner, if it's not, TNT, I said Turner. Wow, that's like old school.
Yeah.
If it's not, I would agree with that. If it's not TNT, if it's not ESPN, you're probably not watching it.
By the way, did you hear that Fox Sports Arizona is no longer?
Yeah, it's Bally Sports. This is weird to me. So Mrs. Monty and I, through our many travails in life, at one point belonged to Bally Total Fitness, which was Vaza Fitness. Think about it that way. 24-hour fitness, LA Fitness. It was huge fitness brand. And then I had thought they went bankrupt. They were out of business, is what it is.
Right.
Well, now all of a sudden they bought all the Fox Sports Regionals, RSN. They bought all the Fox Sports Regionals and renamed them Bally Sports.
Okay.
That's weird to me. And I asked my wife, because she's old, so she knows everything. Trust me.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Trust me on that.
Stop, dude. Stop.
My old wife was
Stop.
like, yeah, I thought Bally Fitness was out of business. So did I.
Well.
So did I. That was weird. But hey, Bally's now owns all of the RSNs.
Yeah.
So it's all good.
Yeah.
I guess. Anyway, who's winning an NBA championship?
I still have to go with the Nets, but
No, Kevin Durant is amazing. KD Trey, the Slim Reaper.
Yep.
How about this Michael Rappaport thing? Did you not hear about this?
I didn't.
Oh, Google search. Just Google search it right now. You're not playing drops anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yes, I am. I played like 4 already. What are you talking about?
So Kevin Durant and Michael Rappaport apparently had a huge Instagram DM gay slur dropping argument. And Kevin Durant just torched him up and down. And it is amazing. Mm-hmm. Now, it's kind of disgusting. Honestly, don't go read it. There's a lot of really heavy language in there. Mm-hmm. But Kevin Durant took Michael Rappaport to the woodshed in DM.
Wow.
Like, it's amazing. It is.
I don't know why people give Michael Rappaport the time of day. I don't get it. That's all he does.
He's a Hollywood actor.
He is a loudmouth individual. That's who he is.
He's a Hollywood actor.
Okay, great. That doesn't explain why anybody would give him the time of day.
And by the way, I don't know. This is a bad look for Kevin Durant. Okay, as much as he burned Rappaport to the ground, the language he used, the slurs he used, this is a bad look for Kevin Durant. And I think if you're Nike, you're paying really close attention to this.
You're not dropping Kevin Durant.
I don't know about
Kevin
that.
Durant.
That
ain't happening.
You should be careful falling on that.
Dude, you're not. Nike basketball is not dropping Kevin Durant. No way. After all the stuff that they endured with Tiger Woods, you really think that a little Instagram spat like this is gonna make him lose his endorsement?
Well, they stopped pushing Tiger Woods for a long period of time. Mm-hmm. They kept paying him, but they stopped pushing him. I think you have a bias towards Kevin Durant, and you don't realize that his star is falling. His star is falling. Kevin Durant is not the superstar he used to be, and it's because of all the injuries. This is what happens when you're Jordan, when you're Kobe, and you get old, and you wind up, running around in a Washington Wizards uniform, not being the same guy you used to be. This is, in my opinion, this is a huge problem for Kevin Durant because of the language he used. Now, maybe, I don't know. He curses at him. He just uses terrible words. He like Kevin Durant said, quote, all you do is, how do I say this? Suck other men for attention. You're a piece of S, and told him to suck a D.
Okay.
And just called him all of these heinous names.
Uh-huh.
It just is not. I think he's going to have to explain himself to the NBA. I think he's going to have to explain himself to the Brooklyn Nets. I think he's going to have to explain himself to Nike. I think there's a real chance this costs him a lot of money.
Yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I think that he didn't use any slurs, right?
Oh.
Did he? Did he use a slur of some kind? That's the question.
He did.
Okay.
I think he did.
Well,
and a lot of people think he does.
Okay. Well, I obviously I haven't read the whole transcript or whatever, but I think the differentiator is, was this a playground spat in Instagram DM, or did he take it to the next level?
Oh,
and
certainly.
Use did he use like the F word or like any of the off limits, you're done, career over words? Those kind of words is what I'm referencing.
Yeah. I think Kevin Durant apologized for a reason.
Well, yeah.
Right?
I mean, yeah, you're going to apologize, but look, there's a difference between, oh my God, I'm losing my Nike endorsement and, the world's ending versus, I had a little spat with, this jagbag and Michael Rappaport, who always wants to fight with everybody, and I just need to apologize. Like, that's, I just think it's two different things.
He very clearly used a homophobic slur. I mean, there's no...
Okay.
And he's apologized for it. But this is a guy who also has won humanitarian awards.
Yeah.
And I mean, are we just really going to write off? Like, I don't think using homophobic slurs is just...
No, I don't think it's I'm not sitting here saying it's not a big deal, but what I am saying is that I just don't think that this type of a situation right here is going to cost him really much outside of public, humiliation on some level,
All right, Brandon Whiteside's on YouTube. Good morning to you. He says, Devin Booker overrated, hasn't done anything. He was nobody without Chris Paul. I mean, do I even comment on that?
Yeah, I think that's not correct, sir.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That is,
Yeah.
And Brandon, I love you. I appreciate that you watch this show every day. That's a ridiculous take.
I think you have no idea how good of a scorer Devin Booker is, man. I mean, he is elite for sure.
And he also says Booker seems like the kind of player that can't win without forcing himself to a super team.
I think that conversation is played, dude.
That's James Harden.
Yeah, that's James Harden. It's Kevin
Right?
Durant. It's a bunch of those guys. You know, I think that that is a two-sided conversation because on one hand we're going to sit here and say, well, he can't win in Phoenix, but then on the other hand we're going to say, well, in Phoenix he's got nothing to work with. So how are you going to hold it against him if he's got nothing to work with?
Yeah, Sean, good morning to you on YouTube, says Booker isn't overrated. It's just about the players. If you aren't on a competitive team, you don't get as much attention. The Suns are good now, but they haven't been good for years.
Yeah.
And I think not being good for years means that nobody's paying attention to you right now. I mean, It really is that simple.
You have to go out and you have to put up 40-point games in the postseason and carry your team and be the guy and have moments. That's what has to happen.
To really be elite, do you have to be the guy on the best team? Do you have to be LeBron on the Heat? Do you have to be LeBron on the Lakers?
No, I don't. So yes, you have to be LeBron, but I don't think you have to be like the Heat wouldn't be the Heat without LeBron, right? So like the Heat were not like this is different than Kevin Durant going to Golden State, right? Like before LeBron went to Miami, it was just D-Wade. That was it, you know? But then LeBron goes to Miami, and all of a sudden it's this whole different dynamic, you know? So, like, with Book, like, I don't think it's fair to say, well, he's got to go to a super team to win. Like, I think that is the culture of the NBA. Guys want to play with other guys. So, like, you know, I know, obviously, as you've said 100 times on the show, yes, Book wants to be a Los Angeles Laker. That's not in secret. He's a Kobe guy. He's been a Kobe guy. Like, it's what he wants. And so I think eventually, he will be a Los Angeles Laker at some point in his career. But I just think that this whole idea of like, oh, well, is he a superstar right now? Well, unfortunately, you know, the media portion of that conversation doesn't help him right now. And I think that if he played in Los Angeles, if he played in, you know, any of the major markets, you know, I think that, his fate would obviously be different. But I think it's unfair to say that he needs a super team to go and win. I just think he needs a better market.
I think he needs a better team. And I think, you know, and again, I know I just said this, but responding to the comments from, you know, Sean and Brandon, I think the Suns are a putrid organization. And Barry is telling me on direct message, hey, compare the Suns to the Knicks. Who's
it's the
got
same
it worse?
thing, dude. The
It's
Knicks probably have it worse, but I think it's largely the same thing.
Well, the Knicks have it worse because they're in New York City, and that's the biggest media market.
And
in the
they have
country.
the money. That's the thing.
Yeah, and if they were any good at all, they would be incredible. You know, I think that's the point with the Suns is that if they win a championship, yeah, sure, they'll own Arizona, but what else? Mm-hmm. If the Lakers win a championship, they own this country. If the Celtics, the Knicks, the Bulls, They run this world, right? The Suns, I don't know, will ever be there. So when I look at Devin Booker and I look at his situation, he's a superstar. I got to watch him up close and personal. I followed him in college, and I was pissed that the Jazz didn't draft him.
Yeah.
And the truth is, he should be a Utah Jazz man. And if he was,
it should have been Book and Hayward.
Yeah, if he was, you would be seeing a completely different situation. But he's not. Mm-hmm. So we're not. And so he's in Phoenix languishing. Yeah. And I think any Utah Jazz fan that doesn't have respect for Devin Booker's game just doesn't know the NBA. Yeah. I mean, that's as simple as I can say it. If you're a Jazz fan and you're not pissed he's not on your team, I don't know what you're talking about.
You need to get on YouTube.
By the way, make sure you hit subscribe on the old YouTube machine, The Monty Show. MONTY, The Monty Show. Just Google search it. Where are you at on the Lakers? Because last night we saw a troubling trend in La La Land continue. Mm-hmm. And that is that Andre Drummond, they're saying it's an ingrown toenail, which I have not had in years. Mm. They are terrible. I can tell you the worst injury I've ever had was not my torn ACL. It was fouling a baseball off my big toe.
Dude.
And not being able to walk properly for like a month.
Yeah.
It was terrible. I've been there. I've done that. I don't know what you do if you're the Lakers, though. I get it that he needs to have this ingrown toenail taken care of. You're going to be out of the playoffs.
Yeah, dude.
You're in real real jeopardy. And I know a lot of people think this is crazy. They don't win even 4 of 10 games the way their roster is currently constructed.
Yeah.
Without LeBron, without AD, I thought Drummond gave them 14 really quality minutes last night. You could see what he was bringing.
Yeah.
Getting to the basket, shooting a little mid-range, playing really good defense. Then he gets hurt, and he's out for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
And now you don't know how long he's going to be out.
Yeah, I think that I'm just telling you now, like if I'm the Lakers, I'm not pushing it this year. I'm not. I don't think it's their year. There's no reason to. There's no reason to risk your future in Anthony Davis. With that Achilles situation that he has going on. I just think I would take my time. You've got less than 5 years left with LeBron James in the league, period. Why would you not, take your time, let him stay, let him get to 100% and then, run it back. I mean, that's what I would do. But, again, I'm not the Lakers.
Yeah, I think this is just not their year.
Yeah.
Things have just not broken for them as much as they broke in the bubble. I think that the grind of winning championships is catching up to the Lakers.
Yeah.
I think you look at the fact that their best player right now is Dennis Schroeder, probably. Right? And I look around the league a little bit, and I see that they're not on par with Denver, the Jazz, the Suns, the Blazers.
Yeah.
They're not. Like the team I was disappointed in last night, the Sacramento Kings.
Yeah, I don't know what you've been watching them more. They're not. Again, they're a team that's got to prove it. They got to prove that they can win big games.
Oh, I would agree with that
because they don't know how to win, and I think that they're a nice little regular season team, but I don't have any confidence in them.
Chuck says more jock riding on Devin Booker. Monty, can you see if he's single? Maybe you two can pair up, Kevin Durant style. Hey, thanks, Chuck.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, what's wrong with you, man? Not funny. Barry says, shocker, Monty defending Devin Booker again. It's not shocking at all. Will says, get over Dante Exum. Are you going to hold that against the Jazz the rest of your life?
Bro, it's not just Dante Exum, dude. It's like 5 years of the draft that they screwed up to not get good players.
Yeah, where the fuck is Rodney Hood right now, man? Where is...
I know. He's making threes for the Portland Trailblazers and taking it in the postseason.
Alec Burks.
Trey Lyles.
Trey Lyles. Thank God you turned that into Donovan Mitchell.
It's the only excuse, dude.
But, Enes Kanter, Gordon Hayward. Like, look at all the guys that have come and gone through the draft. Look at all the wasted draft picks. It's not. Oh, my God. It's not just Dante Exum. It's not. You're crazy. He says, I remember when you broke the news that he tore his ACL in international play. I felt like you were celebrating. Are you happy now that you're right? What are you pissed about Dante Exum?
So random, dude.
Isn't Dante Exum in the D League or something? Like, who cares?
It's the G League, please.
It's the G League.
Thank you.
I don't care about Dante Exum. This is the Clippers with Benoit Benjamin, man. What are you talking about?
Who names their kid Benoit?
Yeah. Okay. Benoit, but if you look at guys like Rodney Hood's not really a bust. He's just a guy you drafted at the end of the first round that didn't work out, and you wound up shopping him. You look
first round pick that didn't pan out, dude.
Yeah, you look at all the mountain of first round picks that did not work out for the Utah Jazz. Mm-hmm. That's the issue. It's not just Dante Exum. Brandon Whiteside says Antonio Walker. Do you mean Antoine Walker? Antonio, I don't know the name.
Antoine Walker.
I think he means Antoine Walker, who I know personally, by the way, Chicago guy. What about Antoine Walker? I'm not really sure.
Did he just comment Antoine Walker?
They literally just said Antonio Walker. I think you mean Antoine. You could explain that. He said Hood got traded.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he did. He did. Listen.
You're pissing people off, bro.
How, though? How? What could I possibly be doing?
It's really unfair.
Well, that might be true, but what am I doing that's pissing people off? I am not the one who brought up Dante Exum. Listen, we can sit here. Dude, don't make me go, okay. 2020 NBA draft. Udoka Azubuike.
Excellent strategy, sir.
Saban Lee. 2019, Darius Balsley. Justin Wright Foreman. 2018, Grayson Allen. Good to see him on the Grizzlies. Playing well, shooting well, playing defense. 2017, Tyler Linden, Josh Hart, Lakers. Thomas Bryant, Lakers. Nigel Williams, Goss. 2016, Torian Waller Prince. Isaiah Whitehead. Joel Balamboy.
Bojan.
Like, hello? 2015, Trey Lyles. 2014. Here's the draft. Like, Dante Exum, Rodney Hood, Jarnell Stokes. Thank God we're saved.
Jarnell.
2013, Shabazz Muhammad. Gorgie Dang. Wow. Eric Green. 2012, Kevin Murphy. 2011, Ennis Cantor, Alex Burks. 2010, Gordon Hayward. Jeremy Evans. Oh, my God. Save me, Jeremy Evans. Was going to no. I'm not doing it.
No, I guess not.
No, I'm not. It's not an I guess not. Screw you. It's not an I guess not. The Jazz have wasted the NBA draft. Are we really talking about this again?
Apparently.
Stop it. Kyle says, what about the Lakers? The Lakers don't exactly draft well. Okay. Well, but you're the
Here's the difference.
God.
What's the difference?
God, you're killing me. My soul is dying with this conversation.
And you two motherfuckers need Jesus.
Seriously, you need Jesus. Are you kidding me that you're trying to compare the way the Lakers use the NBA draft and the way that the Jazz use the NBA draft?
That's quite enough. We get it.
Oh, my God.
Pull it up. Come on.
2020, Jaden McDaniels.
Okay.
NBA championship.
Yeah, but not because of McDaniel.
Just throwing that out there. They drafted Jaden McDaniels and they won an NBA championship. 2019, DeAndre Hunter. 2018, Moritz Wagner and 2017, Lonzo Ball turned him into Anthony Davis. 2016, Brandon Ingram, Ivica Zubats. They turned them into Anthony Davis. Ivica Zubats is a starting center for arguably the best team in the Western Conference, the LA Clippers. Lonzo Ball's a superstar. Tony Bradley sucks.
Okay,
Sorry.
Lonzo Ball's not a superstar.
Well, he's one of the best. He's
a
going
good
to be.
point guard.
He will be. Oh, I guarantee you. And I'm not going to say I guarantee you. I think in 3 years he's one of the best, if not the best, point guards in the NBA.
Okay. We'll see.
Lonzo Ball. Okay, well, let's put. How do I put it this way?
He's quality. He can be the point guard of your team.
He is a good NBA point guard that at the trade deadline was in demand with 5 teams.
Correct. Yes, he was.
Okay. D'Angelo Russell, Max, Super Max, I believe.
Yeah.
Larry Nance.
Good player.
Julius Randle,
Great
superstar
player.
on the Knicks.
Yeah.
You have.
You
This
have
is what
like
I'm saying.
options.
And what do the Lakers do? They usually trade their. Why are we even entertaining? Why do I let commenters on this show drive me off the rails? Brandon Whiteside says Walker used to put up like 50 points a game for the Celtics, and they didn't do anything, a.k.a. Booker.
Well,
I don't disagree with that. But by the way, didn't Antoine Walker win a championship?
I think he did. I don't know, dude. Dude, you pissed a bunch of people off today. Do you realize that? People are upset with you right now.
I didn't piss anybody off. The facts pissed people
I personally would like an apology.
off. Antoine Walker is broke. This is the story I always tell. He's broke. He made $110 million.
Jesus.
I mean, good Lord. I don't remember if he won a championship or not. I thought he was on that. I thought he gravy trained one in Miami, but I could be wrong.
Either way, it's fine.
Pretty sure in 2006 with the Heat he won a championship. It doesn't matter.
Anyway, it's fine.
It doesn't matter. You're not
need to
wrong.
move along.
You're not wrong that Antoine Walker scored a lot of points and didn't win.
Yeah.
I mean, anyway. No. Nope. I don't feel better. I don't. I want to get to this Deshaun Watson thing. Make sure that you give us a thumbs up. Please like our videos. Please give us a subscribe as well on YouTube. It really helps the channel grow. It is a big, big difference maker. For us, we are rapidly. I can't believe we're almost at 300 subscribers already. That was a good save.
Good save.
300 subscribers already in 6 weeks is
crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And I appreciate every one of you guys that's here on a daily basis. Thank you. Let's talk to Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Briefly. There are probably 86,000 more lawsuits that were filed against him. Yesterday it was 2 more. This freakazoid of an attorney, Busby, that is representing all of these women, filed 2 more lawsuits. Also of note yesterday, 18 massage therapists signed a declaration in support of Deshaun Watson, saying that he treated them well. They all named themselves. They are not anonymous. It's legit 18 professional masseuses signing on, hey, we serviced Deshaun Watson. He treated us well. Cool. And then this odd story on Instagram. This is much like the Matt Gaetz, hey, there's pictures of me with a 17-year-old girl story.
Dude, bro.
So it's been weird that none of these accusations against Deshaun Watson have gone to the Houston Police Department. And the common theory is, well, there's just not evidence to bring a criminal case because, well, you need, like evidence.
I don't know, a videotape, Bob Kraft?
Something like that, sir. Anyway, any kind of evidence. And so everybody's like, hey, ambulance chaser, why haven't you gone to the Houston Police? Well, the Houston Police Department reached out to me. We're going to be conversating and sharing information, and I'm going to send them, and a criminal case is going to, Deshaun Watson's going to jail after he goes to hell for the rest of his life. Then he's going to go to, you're going to Leavenworth for the rest of your life. Real tough talk, right? Oh, so he was asked again. So out of nowhere last night, this attorney, Busby, decides to post on Instagram. Well, because of course you're an attorney with, the highest profile lawsuit in the country.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you decide to post on Instagram that you're not going to the Houston Police Department because there's a conspiracy against you because you once ran for mayor against the former police chief in Houston, who's no longer in Houston. He's the police chief in Miami now. And you just don't think that you can get a fair shake with the Houston Police Department. Okay, so you don't have evidence.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
But, we're going to use other law enforcement avenues to pursue criminal charges. So you don't have evidence. That's what you're saying. Because if you had evidence, don't nobody give a damn that you ran for mayor. If you publicly name your evidence and you go to the Houston Police Department, and I don't know, there is a rape kit, there is videotape, pictures, still shots, anything,
dude, anything.
And you said there were Instagram messages that would implicate Deshaun. Those have not come out because I don't believe they exist. Him apologizing for making somebody uncomfortable is a far stretch from he rammed his penis down my throat and raped me, which is one of the accusations in this suit.
It is, yes. Now,
am I sitting here telling you that I believe Deshaun Watson's innocent? No, I don't. Sorry, I think Deshaun Watson is a sexual predator, and I think he has a sex addiction. I am guaranteeing you that Deshaun Watson likely, in my opinion, watches a ton of porn. And my guess is that's why he does the things he does. Okay, cool. Deshaun Watson's not innocent.
Yeah.
This attorney is dirty as hell.
Yeah.
There's something wrong here.
Yeah, I think the issue now for this attorney is the connection to the Texans and the fact that he's got no evidence. I mean, we're basically blowing a bunch of smoke. That's what it looks like. Like if you just look at it, no evidence, won't go to the Houston Police Department. Now is talking about conspiracy theories and all this stuff.
Yeah.
That just doesn't add up. It makes it look like it was the real conspiracy is it makes it look like the Houston Texans got Busby to get all these lawsuits together to try to tarnish Deshaun. And I think that other GMs and owners in the league are seeing that. And I think that I do think that Deshaun will get moved. I really, truly believe that because I think in the NFL it's a business. It's very cut and dry. You either are evidence-bound, He's guilty. He's in real trouble. Okay, he is a diminishing asset at this point. We cannot have him on our team. Or there's no evidence. This is all smoke. The Texans are insane, and Deshaun is doing everything that he can do to be the guy.
By the way, the NFL has not done
anything. What is there to do? This is my thing. What is there to do?
Because there's no evidence. Like, and this is my point. I'm not saying, again, hear me clearly. I'm not saying Deshaun Watson's innocent.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I believe he probably did some of what he's being accused of.
Right.
But the problem is there's no evidence. So let me get this right. The Texans haven't acted. The NFL hasn't acted. The cops haven't acted. And this lawyer hasn't acted.
So what are we really doing here?
Looking for a payday.
Exactly.
That's what this seems like.
And I think that these situations, and we specifically mentioned this, you can go back. It's on the channel. It's probably 2 weeks ago now.
Yeah,
at least.
we have evidence that we mentioned this.
When the very first time that I see what you did there.
Nothing?
That was really really well done.
Okay.
Thank you. The very first time we talked about this, we said, hey, you can't just crucify someone on someone making accusations. There has to be proof.
Damn right. And I think that's something that we too often do.
Mm-hmm.
I think we certainly saw that in the Donald Trump era on both sides, pro and against Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've seen like this. Do you guys know this Matt Gaetz story? The sitting congressman, Matt Gaetz? This is bizarre. Matt Gaetz, a sitting congressman, is apparently under federal investigation at the Department of Justice for sex trafficking a 17-year-old girl. Okay, what does that mean? Specifically, Matt Gaetz is being investigated for flying a 17-year-old girl, allegedly flying a 17-year-old girl around the country and allegedly doing so to have sex with her. He had a 17-year-old girl allegedly fly around the country with him. They had sex regularly, and he got caught. And your only defense is to go on Tucker Carlson. Okay, on its surface, I get it. Tucker Carlson is the most Republican-friendly, I dare say, host in this country. You go on Tucker Carlson, you make a bunch of crazy accusations while never denying flying this 17-year-old around the country and banging her, and you reveal new allegations that there is photographic evidence of you and this girl to the point where Tucker Carlson stopped on live TV and was like, wait, what? And if you've
Congressman, thanks so much for coming on. Appreciate it. So this is obviously a serious allegation. Tell us what the truth is from your perspective.
It is a horrible allegation, and it is a lie. The New York Times is running a story that I have traveled with a 17-year-old woman, and that is verifiably false. People can look at my travel records and see that that is not the case. What is happening is an extortion of me and my family involving a former Department of Justice official. On March 16th, my father got a text message demanding a meeting wherein a person demanded $25 million in exchange for making horrible sex trafficking allegations against me go away. Our family was so troubled by that, we went to the local FBI. And the FBI and the Department of Justice were so concerned about this attempted extortion of a member of Congress that they asked my dad to wear a wire, which he did with the former Department of Justice official. Tonight, I am demanding that the Department of Justice and the FBI release the audio recordings that were made under their supervision and at their direction, which will prove my innocence.
Wait, knowing, by the way, that cannot happen. That's against the law to release federal wiretaps into the public. Think about the NCAA scandal.
Don Miller.
Can't do it. It's against federal law. By the way, again, I would just note, he never denied having sex with or a relationship with this 17-year-old girl.
Yeah.
He just denied that he had her travel with him.
Yep.
Note what he said. There's no records. My records that she traveled with me. Well, because allegedly you paid for her to travel separately.
Yeah.
So he's not denying what he's being accused of. Squirrel! Oh, there's a wiretap of stuff. Don't look at that. Don't look at this. Like,
Yeah,
that's
dude.
what this
Yeah,
is.
dude. Yep.
And then just out of nowhere, oh, and this idea that there's photos of me with this 17-year-old girl is ridiculous.
We're promising that Joe Biden would pardon me. Obviously, I don't need a pardon. I'm not seeking a pardon. I've not done anything improper or wrong.
Okay. Joe Biden's not pardoning you. He's not. That's what I don't get. This is, how do I say this gently? Because I'm sure this is going to piss off everybody wearing their MAGA hats this morning. This is right out of Donald Trump's playbook. Oh, Stormy Daniels said that I had sex with her. Well, look, she's had sex with a bunch of dudes. Okay. Oh, Russia hoax? Hunter Biden in Ukraine. Okay, so I'm accused of X, but you better go look at Y. Like, that's the Donald Trump playbook,
Yeah.
right? That's the way. And you can listen to all of this Matt Gaetz audio. Everything he says, you're like, I'm sorry, who? Hi, you said what? When Tucker Carlson won't stand up for you, and if you watch Tucker Carlson at all, if you've ever had the displeasure of watching his show,
Yeah.
when he like twists his face, and he's like, anytime he twists his face, you know that you're about to get something usually not very intelligently phrased.
Yeah.
But he was like, what? Wait, I'm sorry. Who? Like, what? I'm sorry. Did you say that your dad? This is the other
What?
spectacular part of this. Matt Gaetz outed his dad as a rat.
Yeah.
He outed his father as a cooperating witness with the Department of Justice.
Yeah.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Don't look at me and this 17-year-old girl. My dad's a
So
rat.
wait, you outed your dad.
Oh my God.
You compared yourself to Tucker Carlson on Tucker Carlson's show, saying that he had been accused of sexual misconduct. You then
Awkward.
admitted that there are no pictures available, which insinuates that you were actually doing this,
Or that
right?
you were told, hey, by the way, we have photographic evidence.
Yeah. So it's just.
Oh, by the way, never mind. He's hired one of the most powerful defense attorneys in the country.
What would I do without you?
I
Anyway.
think my opinion is there's pretty good evidence against Matt Gaetz.
Yes, unlike Deshaun, Matt Gaetz has evidence against him.
Like, it is amazing what rich people do.
Yeah.
And,
Or think they can get away with.
and by the way, he also said they contemplated paying the $5 million ransom.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry, you got $5 million? I mean, let me scratch that check for you, man.
We're only here for one reason.
Yeah.
Like, maybe I'm in the wrong line of work,
Apparently.
and I make stupid money. I ain't got $5 million sitting around just,
Nope.
ready for ransom.
But you do have enough money to buy an Audi.
Is that a rainy day fund? Make sure you hit subscribe on the YouTube machine. The Monty Show, Monty, The Monty Show. Yeah, let's talk about the old Audi machine. So yesterday was a weird day. Yesterday was the Twilight Zone. From about 2 o'clock on Tuesday
Uh-huh.
to right about 10 o'clock last night, I was in the Twilight Zone.
Mm-hmm.
I got the Pfizer jab the other day, the second one. We'll talk about that in a minute. But I had been, so Sunday night, I have a garage, but I also have street parking. So I parked the taco, Carl, his name was Carl. We got to find out what the name for the SQ.
Better be something German.
I parked Carl out on the street. It's got a 3-inch lift on it. It's got 21-inch wheels on it. It's high. I get into the car as my 6'3" self and absolutely crack the back of my skull on the A-frame. Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
All right, I recover. I wipe the tears out of my eyes. I turn the car on. One of my high-intensity white headlights is burned out that I've had for like 6 months. And I just got to a point right there and then after Toyota's called me, Toyota Financial, I'm 2 months fully ahead on my car payment.
Were.
Thank you. One you and Audi. They called me the other, or whatever. They let me know that I was behind on my car payment.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, man, I'm 2 months ahead. What are you talking? I just had enough.
Yeah.
So I go to get a new car, and my wife lost her mind. Like, we had a huge fight over it. It was a rough couple of days. So I eventually wind up at the dealership with my wife, by the way, and Jake. Not feeling 100% because of the Pfizer vaccine shot too.
Right.
And I had made a deal with the dealership before I ever walked in there, which, by the way,
Talk about Capital One, please.
Don't just walk into a dealership and say, hey, I want to buy a car. Please, I'm begging you. So I went through Capital One's Auto Navigator program. As I have said on the show 1,000 times, I'm debt-free. I have 800 credit. I got a really good rate. I got like a 2.76.
Yeah.
No money down. Lower your car payment by $50.
Nice.
Done.
Faster car. Cool.
All right,
Great.
perfect. Hey, man, I want $31,000 for my Tacoma. 2018, 37,000 miles, 43,000 miles on it.
Yeah.
43,000 miles. I want $31,000 for my Tacoma. And the guy says, hey, if we give you $31,000 for your Tacoma, are you going to do this?
Yeah.
Yes. All right, cool. Sends me the deal sheet in my email. Done.
Yeah.
I owe $26,300 on my Tacoma.
Yeah.
I made 5 G's on my Toyota Tacoma.
Mm-hmm.
So not only did I lower my car payment, not only did I pay $39,000 for a $44,000 car, like I crushed this thing. And the thing I did is I got pre-qualified at Capital One. Send them the Capital One pre-qualification. So what happens is you put in a VIN number at Capital One Auto Navigator, spits out payment options, down payment, all this stuff. Capital One essentially says, to buy this VIN number, we're going to need you to do this. My do this was 0 money down, 2.76 APR. Go to the dealer and get the car. Great.
Cool.
All right, cool. So my wife, we go to the dealer yesterday afternoon. We test drive the car. I feel dead. I don't feel great. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to come back later. All right, cool. Well, hey, do you want your wife on the loan too, or are you just going to do it on your own? I look at my wife, who is not a car person, and she's like, yeah, I'd like to be on there. I'm like, all right, cool. So we go home and we fill out a joint application on Capital One Auto Navigator.
Yeah.
My wife is debt-free. She's got 800 credit.
Yeah,
she
it's all
makes
good.
really good money. Like,
Yep.
we are the best candidate. I can go and get a loan for anything I want. Capital One, by the way, pre-qualified me for $105,000 worth of vehicle.
That's lit, dude.
Like, I could have gone and bought a car up to $105,000. So we're in good shape, right?
Yeah.
Go home, fill out the credit app, send it in.
Yeah.
I'm driving into the dealership. We're getting off the 15.
Yeah.
You know, at 9 South, we're ready to go.
Yeah.
The dealership calls me.
Oh, fuck. Here we
Hey,
go.
I just got a weird response from Capital One.
Oh, God.
They want you to put $5,000 down, and it's going to be a 8.31 APR. What the fuck? Like, what?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Don't get it.
So we get to the dealership. The guy walks up to us. He's like, hey, can I just be honest with you? I would not use Capital One. I have these problems on a regular basis. I just wouldn't. I can shop you around with your credit and your income. I can get you a loan anywhere you want. I have, he wanted us to go to the U Credit Union.
Yeah.
University of Utah Credit Union.
Yeah.
Okay, fine, go right ahead. I said to him, same deal. And he said, yeah, no problem. No problem. He goes and shops it around. Not only did he get us a 2.76 APR,
Yeah.
he got us a 2.67 APR. He lowered our car payment by $50, including maintenance for the next, I think, 48,000 miles.
Yeah.
Like, it's a great deal.
Yeah.
And I got $31,000 for the Tacoma.
Yeah.
And I just don't understand why Capital One didn't want my business.
Yeah, don't get it, dude. Don't get it.
He even said we're prime credit candidates.
Yeah.
Which means, and he said, I asked him, well, can you send me through Audi credit? And he said, well, the problem is they don't have good programs for used. Yeah. If this was a certified pre-owned, which I'm going to talk about in a minute, if this was a certified pre-owned, we'd be in business. But it's not certified. It's a lease back, which means somebody leased it. They gave it back.
Yeah.
It's only got like 21,000 miles on it. All right, great.
Yeah.
But he's like, I can't certify it because it's coming as a lease back. Okay, fine. So I wind up at the University Credit Union at a 2.67.
Yeah.
And my car payment went down. Essentially, my cost of ownership went down $50.
Right.
And
it's a good deal.
I went from a Toyota Tacoma SR5, double cab, 6-foot bed, 3-inch lift, 21-inch tires and wheels, beautiful truck, blacked out, loved it. But it just was never the car I wanted.
Yeah.
So I went from a BMW 535 M Sport to the Tacoma.
Yeah.
From the Tacoma to a Audi SQ5.
Yeah.
Top of the line. It's called an Elite.
Yeah, you got your balls back.
This thing's unbelievable. It is not certified. So what certified pre-owned means? CPO. What certified pre-owned means is they've gone over the car, and it's things like brakes. It's things like tread depth on your tires. Now, here's the story with my SQ5. It's a lease back. A guy leased it for a year, put 21,000 miles on it, brought it back. He bought the car at Carlsbad Audi in Carlsbad, California, just outside of San Diego. Leased it from there, returned it to there. Audi of Salt Lake City bought it from Carlsbad. And essentially brought the car here. What they did is they did a full brake replacement on the back of the Audi. Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you why that's important in a minute. He had brand new summer
Pirelli
P0s on there.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
They're awesome tires, really good tire. Comes with a 21-inch wheel. Leather seats that have quilting stitch. Like just a beautiful car. Bang Olufsen sound system. But it's not CPO. So you don't get the same access to warranties and service.
Right.
So I had to buy service for my 30, my 50, and my 60,000 mile services, which are big, expensive services. Mm. And I passed on a warranty because I'm probably only going to keep it 3 years. So I'm in good shape. But anyway, the point is, this car is amazing.
Yeah.
It is what they call a quattro, which means it's four-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, full-time, equal power to every wheel, which is different than like BMW's xDrive. Mm-hmm. It's different than the way, and it really is revolutionary. It is the first, quattro is the first ever full-time all-wheel drive, full power to all wheels. Like a lot of xDrive systems, it's called pulse power.
Yeah.
Where if the car feels a wheel slipping, it'll send more power there. In the Audi Quattro, it sends full power to the wheels all the time.
Yep.
So you handle better. This also has air ride suspension where you can raise the car 4 inches. We did it yesterday sitting in a Maverick, by the way. We were playing with it, and it literally, the car goes up 4 inches for off-road, and you can drop it down to dynamic mode, which is 4 inches lower. The thing handles, it turns like it's on rails, 354 horsepower. The other thing about it's a 2018. The other thing about the 2018, it's a completely redesigned SQ5. The way the motor, the way the brains of the motor distributes the power. And if you don't, like, I'm not to get too technical, but like the torque of the SQ5 stays in range longer.
The tune is way better.
Yeah, so essentially a lot of cars, like my BMW, when it got to 3,000 RPM, it would downshift so that it could re-spool and give you more torque. What the Audi does is it has a larger turbo unit, and so the torque stays longer. So it's not going to shift under full load until 4,700 RPM. And when it downshifts from 47, it's not going to fall below 35. So when you want to go, you in this car legit, you can go 0 to 60 in about 4.9 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
I'm telling you, all-wheel drive is where it's at, dude.
It's the Audi S.
It's one of my favorite things.
I love that car.
Yeah.
Now, I've owned it one day.
Yeah.
This weekend, we're going to take it up Cottonwood. We're going to go for some drives. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
I will have to get winter tires.
Mm-hmm.
So a year from now, I'll probably be buying wheels and tires for it. Although, the P0 is a really good tire.
Not in the winter.
Not in the winter. I mean,
overall,
for summers.
But yeah.
It's not I really am partial to the Michelin Pilot Sport.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not.
But the Pilot Sport is stupid expensive.
It's not like the P0 is like, oh, I gotta go and get Michelin's. I mean, it's a great tire.
No, I'd keep the Summers and put them on a new wheel.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Yeah,
so,
100%.
Anyway,
yeah.
So that was fun yesterday.
Yeah, really fun, dude. I think it's. I've actually that was the first time I've really ever experienced Audi, and I think it's. I think it's pretty good bang for your buck, man. I think one of the things with Beamer. I mean, I love BMW totally.
I miss my Beamer.
I think the one thing that's really interesting when you compare BMW to Audi is that BMW's performance, like the brand, is all about performance. And then they kind of, they do great interiors, but at the level that you're buying at, I would say that Audi has a better total package than BMW has, in my opinion, at that level, at the the anywhere between the $30,000 and $50,000 car level. I would say that Audi probably has a better total package. I think once you get into M class and you start getting like up there in car, then it's a different conversation.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I'll tell you, the BMW experience has been nothing short of spectacular, and I am really thankful that I had that experience. But the other thing, real quick, because Mike makes an excellent point. He says the reason I don't like buying new cars is because it takes forever.
Yeah,
we were there less than an hour.
Yeah,
we were in the actual dealership less than an hour.
Yeah,
and the signing was on an iPad.
Yeah,
we had
cool.
to initial some documents, but it literally is bink, 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 bink.
Yep.
You just need to read your finance contract and make sure, I wanted to make sure I got my $31,000 for the truck.
Yeah.
Make sure it's 267. Make sure it's University Credit Union. You just need to read the verifiables.
Yeah.
It took 3 minutes to sign that paperwork. Handed the iPad to my wife. She signed it. Done.
Yeah.
Guy handed us the keys. By the way, I get to keep my flu game plate.
Oh yeah.
So if you see,
I'll tell you,
an Audi SQ5 rolling around with flu game, that's your main.
I'll tell you, dude. Your experience at that Audi dealer makes me more partial to because that's the thing for me. Like the dealer experience in buying the car is a big deal. Like I'm not willing to give my money to a dealer who is like giving you a shit experience.
No, me either.
And I think that I felt like they did a pretty solid job. Like the finance guy was actually like genuine. Like when we went in to do the Subaru, I felt like there was a lot of they were cool, but I still felt like it was kind of gimmicky. At the Volkswagen dealer when we bought the car in Tucson.
Oh yeah,
I felt like it was kind of gimmicky almost, but these guys were pretty genuine. So
yeah, the problem at the Volkswagen dealer is they shopped your credit to 20 different lenders. And I specifically told the guy, and the best part about Capital One Navigator is if you have a Capital One account, which I do, I have multiple accounts with them, they don't run your credit. They don't hit your credit, which lowers every time you have your credit run, you apply for credit, it lowers your credit 2 points.
Yeah.
And so I told the guy at the Audi dealer, hey, if we're not going to do this Capital One, please don't shop me to 100 different lenders.
Yeah.
He said, I'm going to send you to University Credit Union because I think they'll give you the best rate and they're local.
Yeah.
And he did. And I got
they're good.
I got one hit out of it.
They're good. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was pretty happy with that. Overall, I would highly encourage you to look. Audi of Salt Lake City is who I went to. Great experience. Michael was my sales rep. I can't remember the guy's name, the finance manager.
English guy.
No, the English guy was Michael. I can't remember the finance manager's name, but he was really good. The whole experience yesterday was, it was just everything. It was everything that you want. Oh man, I got my first return on Amazon FBA. Somebody's returning ball jars. Now that came out wrong. Anyway, the point is that I had a really good experience, and I'm trying to see if I can find the guy's name in my email, but I can't. So we had a really good experience, and I would encourage you to go to Audi Salt Lake City if you're looking for a new ride. And now let's talk about Pfizer. Hey, if you're watching the show, please right now click thumbs up on YouTube. That really makes a difference for us. So give us a thumbs up. Let's talk about the side effects of the second Pfizer shot for the vaccine. I got it on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And it was immediate that I was not feeling normal. I would say 35 minutes. I got it at Smith's in South Jordan. And they make you stay in the store for 15 minutes, which is totally fine because some people have an allergic reaction. So I went and got the shot. I walked around the store and I walked over to their hot food counter. And I saw that the lady had just finished making a bunch of sushi. So my wife has been wanting sushi for a while, so I bought her a roll, and I got baked chicken wings.
Yeah.
All drums, of course, because
So good,
I'm
dude.
a man. But when I was walking out of the store, I noticed I was just really hot.
Yeah.
And so immediately I stepped out of the store, and the cold air felt really good. I got in the car. I was doing some car stuff, and I gotten a call, and I was talking to Michael from Audi, and I was just dealing with some stuff.
Yeah.
And by the time I got home, I parked the car out in front of the house. I was like, "Damn, dude! I am like hazy. Okay, cool. Go downstairs, close a deal at Yelp, eat my chicken wings, and." My arm started hurting. Like the first jab I got, the first shot I got, I did not have pain
Yeah.
at all in my right arm. I get it in my right arm. This time it really hurt. And I thought the needle was a little longer with a thicker gauge.
Yeah.
The guy, what it was doing, it was burning. It was like it was on fire. The pharmacist is the one who gave me the shot. Like he came out, rubbed it with alcohol, like immediately he almost did like a bang bang, like rubbed it with alcohol and then immediately stuck the needle in my arm. And it burned like, wow. And my wife was like, well, what happens is if they don't let the alcohol dissipate or, evaporate.
Yeah, it gets into your skin.
It gets into the wound.
Yeah.
All right. But now my arm hurts. And then I immediately got freaking cold.
Mm-hmm.
And not because you care, but when I'm not well, I don't function well.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm really sick, I don't think straight. It was just weird. So I was in a little bit of a haze. I was having an argument with my wife, frankly. We had gotten into this huge argument about buying this car.
Uh-huh.
And it was just, I was going through a weird time. She left to go get her shot.
Yeah.
So we had the shot on the same day. When she was gone, I just lost kind of control of what I was doing. She came home and we were arguing again. And now I just noticed I am uncontrollably shaking.
Yeah.
I'm like shivering. Like I was trying to talk and my jaw was bouncing up and down.
Yeah.
So I have a sweatshirt hanging on my Bowflex. So I go over there, I put on the sweatshirt, and I can't. It was weird. I know this is going to sound crazy. We're having a major argument, right? Like we're having a huge argument, which we never have. So it was weird to begin with. We're having a huge argument. And I'm standing like away, telling myself, dude, you don't feel well. You should go sit down. This is what's going through my head while we're fighting, having the biggest fight we've probably had in 5 years. And I'm standing and I'm telling myself, hey, man, you need to go sit down. You're like, because my arm is killing me. I'm freezing cold. I'm shivering. I'm having trouble talking.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden I noticed my ears were ringing.
Yeah.
Like, when you get a real bad headache, you get that that like hiss in your ears. So I sit down, we keep arguing, okay, whatever. I finally warm up a little bit, so I stop shaking. The night goes on, I finally go to bed, and all night long, my ears were loudly ringing.
Yeah.
It was beyond that hiss now.
Uh-huh.
It was just loud, and I had a crazy headache again. And we didn't have any Tylenol in the house overnight.
Yeah.
So I woke up at 4:30. I woke up at 5. I think I probably got out of bed around 5:30, 6 o'clock. And I'm standing in front of, I have these two big closet doors that open up.
Uh-huh.
And they're loud. Like when you open them, they have those little ball bearings on top.
Yeah.
Like I hate them.
Yep.
I couldn't hear the closet doors opening. And so I was having this stupid conversation with myself. Hey, did you go deaf here? Like, wait, can you hear anything? And I'm just like standing there, like taking clothes. Like I think I pulled a T-shirt off of a hanger. Like it was just weird. I was in like a haze.
Yeah.
And my ears were ringing loudly. I had a terrible headache when I woke up. I kind of walk out. I go to my master bathroom is not in shape. I can't take a shower in there right now. I go over to our hallway bathroom, and I get in the shower, and the hot shower makes me feel a lot better. So, like, after the shower, I'm actually functioning now. And I come downstairs. I sit at my desk because we didn't do the show yesterday because I just was not feeling well.
Yeah.
I sit at my work desk because I have a Yelp desk and I have a podcast desk, and I fell asleep. I sat in my chair without any socks or shoes on, and I fell asleep.
Yeah.
And I woke up, and I was like, hey, I should go to the store and get Tylenol. That's what was in my mind. I was like, hey, I should go get Tylenol. I fell back asleep. I texted my wife. I think I dozed back off. I said, hey, I'm going to go to the store. Is there anything you want? At this point, we were still fighting. I said, is there anything you want from the store? She's like, no, not right now. So I fell asleep. I woke back up. She said, no, not right now.
Yeah.
So I got my shoes on. I got my socks on. And I walked upstairs. And she was upstairs. She was in the kitchen. So I went upstairs. I found some shoes. I got some Air Max. Put my Air Max on. I just kind of sat on the bottom of my stairs just trying to like collect my brain.
Right.
And I started feeling a little better. We go to the store. We kind of talk through some things. We're not fighting anymore. Like I come home. I take the Tylenol. I come downstairs to go to work. And I just don't feel right. Like my brain's not right. And so I said to my boss, hey, I actually worked. I closed the deal. I got myself over 100 points for the month, which was my goal this month because March was a really long month. And I was like, hey, all right, I'm going to take the rest of the day off. Are you cool with that? He's like, yeah, sure, no problem. And so I took the rest of the day off and just, I feel totally normal now. Although sitting here, I'll be honest with you, I'm boiling hot. But whatever. I feel totally normal now. I don't have a headache. My ears are not ringing anymore. I'm not cold. I'm actually hot. My arm is a little sore. We're like just moving my arm around.
Yeah.
Like flexing my rotator cuff. It's a little sore. But other than that, I feel pretty good.
Okay. Well, that's just the process. I think that it affects everybody differently, but I'm glad you're through it. Now you can start living life.
Yeah. What did Marcus say? Marcus said, was it worth it? Would you do it again? Yes, absolutely. I would do it again. There is no question about it. I want to be vaccinated.
Yeah.
I want to go back to ballparks. I want to go back to concerts. I want to be able to eat out. I want to go lift weights without worrying about it. I'm fat. I need to lose weight.
Yeah.
This is part of the fight we had. My wife says that I self-deprecate too much.
Okay.
And usually I joke about myself all the time. Self-deprecating humor I think is really funny.
Uh-huh.
But I have gained a significant amount of weight during the pandemic.
And I don't think you're alone in that.
No, it's a national thing. It is. It came up during the presidential campaign.
Yeah.
That we were in a health crisis and anyway, I need to lose weight. So I need to go back to the gym. So part of the argument we had was, hey, we need to be healthier. And so there's just all this stuff. So I just am ready to move on with life.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready to move on.
Yeah.
So
and the vaccination is part of that.
Yeah, it's a big part of that. I'm still going to wear a mask. This probably sounds crazy. And the Pfizer vaccine is shown to be like 94% effective in adults, 100% effective in kids from 12 to 15 in this latest study. It's 100% effective for at least 6 months.
Yeah.
Like all these studies are coming out on the vaccines now, and I'm telling you, I feel great, and I'm ready to get on with getting on.
Yeah.
So there you have it. We're way over time.
As usual.
So you should probably play the music. And what I would say is that it's opening day. I love baseball opening day. I think it should be a national holiday. I say this every year on opening day. I think it should be a national holiday.
Yep.
Because I will be watching the Cubs today. I'll have it on TV all day long, even though I have to work. Should be a national holiday.
Agreed.
So there you go. By the way, congratulations on a great month for you.
Yeah. Pretty good. Yeah. What?
Congratulations to me on a great month last month. Let's do it all over again. We'll see you tomorrow morning on the show. Until tomorrow, say it's Audi,
Johnny.
not it's Audi, not Uddy.
It's Audi, not Odie.
Bye bye.